If your dip powder application is looking a lot like this, but you want a smooth finish that looks exactly like this, let me show you how to avoid this big ol' mess. So there's two common reasons that this happens. Number one, more pigmented powders can be a little bit more prone to clumping when they hit the nail. And number two, it can also be caused when you add a little bit too much liquid during your application. So make sure that you wipe your brush really well to get rid of any excess liquid before you apply to the nail. Now, if you're having trouble achieving those thin layers or you're working with a particularly difficult powder, start by shaking the jar to loosen it up. This will reduce the risk of the powder clumping on you. Now, instead of dipping our nails directly into the jar like we normally would, we're going to use what's often called the pour over method. So grab a nail tray or even a cupcake liner if you have one on hand. This will allow you to catch any excess dip powder. Then you're going to paint your nail with a thin layer of base coat, grab your powder and gently pour across the nail for even coverage. And once you've applied that powder, you can use the toothpick trick to trace your cuticle lines for a clean finish. So using this technique will prevent the powder from being pushed up into a lump on the nail, which is especially helpful with powders like this that are more prone to clumping. It's also a lot more forgiving if you've applied a bit too much liquid on the nail, since it won't push the liquid into a lump. You can repeat this pour over process for each layer of dip powder, and then once your application is complete, you can pour any excess powder back into the jar for your next manicure. Then you can proceed with the rest of your dip powder application, which includes buffing your nail smooth and applying that shiny top coat. If you'd like to see the full step-by-step dip application tutorial, I've shared it for you in the caption. So that's how you can avoid lumps in your dip powder manicure by using the pour over method. Now don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any DIY nail tutorials, and of course, lots of nail inspo.